put a lot of thought into this one. I initially wanted to call it Why You Shouldn't Use Protein Powder, and then I realized that people will read that title and it sounds clickbaity. But then additionally, people might think that I'm going to make some weird argument that the protein powder is bad or something. So I'm going with when you shouldn't use protein powder. The reason for this is because I made a comment the other day in one of my other videos, and I mentioned that I don't like using protein powder. That I'm not opposed to it, and so let's get that right off the bat here. I think protein powder is great. I always have some type of protein powder in my house somewhere, in a cabinet or something, because it's convenient, okay? It's a great solution whenever you have to grab something quick on the go. Outside of that, I'm going to make a comment here about when, because it certainly can be a fantastic tool for you to use. I don't think protein powder is a supplement. I think protein powder is actually a food. It's a complete protein. It has calories, okay? I don't see what the big deal is. If you're having a scoop of whey protein and that's 25 grams of protein, how is drinking a scoop of whey protein with water any different than me drinking 25 grams of protein from egg whites? It's 25 grams of protein. No one sits there and says, oh, well, egg whites are a supplement. No. Egg whites are not a supplement. Egg whites are a food, and as far as I'm concerned, whey is a food. You guys all grew up with the little poem about curds and whey. That's because curds, cottage cheese, and whey. Whey is protein, whey is a food, okay? That being said, whey protein is fantastic for its convenience. It even tastes good. The old stuff tasted awful. It was like trying to drink chalk. The stuff they have today is like dessert. It's really good tasting. I think whey can be a great tool for people who are, maybe you're a student and you're just trying to grab something between classes. Maybe you travel for work. Maybe you're just drinking something quick at work because you don't have time to sit down and eat lunch. By all means, 100% you go for it. I don't have any criticism of those situations. But I will say, when, right? Like, there could be a time where you might not want to use whey protein, or any protein powder for that matter. I don't care. It doesn't have to be whey. It could be pea protein or whatever shit is out there. I think there's, what, they have, and there's casein, and there's collagen and all the stuff like that, whatever. The point that I would point out to people here that they need to focus on is the satiety of these things. So, you know, let's say you're going to sit down and you're going to eat a steak, okay? You're going to feel full. It's going to sit with you longer, right? So you sit down and you eat, 450 grams of steak, okay? That's going to make you feel full, and it's going to digest slowly, so you're going to feel full for longer. And that's like roughly 800 calories, I think. So let's just be crazy and say that you're going to throw 8 scoops of whey protein in at 100 calories per scoop, okay, just to make it 800 calories versus 800 calories. Never mind the fact that the protein and fat content is completely different, but just 800 calories versus 800 calories. So you eat 800 calories of steak versus 800 calories of whey protein. Now, don't get me wrong, you'll feel full for a while because you had to mix a lot of water with that to drink it, right? Oh, all that water, that's great. Drink as much water as you can. Water makes you feel full. The thing is that, like, water clears your stomach pretty quickly, like, relative to how long it takes to digest food. So, like, a half hour later, you're going to feel hungry again. Maybe you're different. Maybe you make it to 45 minutes. Maybe you're a Superman, you make it to an hour. But, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, you drink whey protein, it doesn't make you feel full for hours. Okay, you drink whey protein and maybe you feel full because of all the water that comes with it, right? It stretches your stomach. There's these stretch receptors in your stomach. But like, you're not going to feel full like you do after eating a big meal. Eating an 800 calorie meal versus drinking an 800 calorie meal replacement shake even. I mean, we can get into that. I don't think meal replacement shakes are worth the money unless maybe you're trying to gain mass. If you're on a crazy bulk and you just can't put the food down, yeah, meal replacement shake could be a good choice for you, just simply because it's a battle to get that many calories down. You know, you look at these guys like Blaine Sumner doing the chicken shake. Like, yeah, like that's crazy and it sounds gross. You're gonna throw chicken in the blender and blend it up. But like, yeah, like drinking your calories is a lot easier than trying to eat them in meals, and it's going to make you. You're going to clear it out of your stomach faster, which allows you to get more food down later. At some point, you just can't push food because you just feel sick and uncomfortable all the time. For any of you out there who have done some crazy hard bulk where you're just like eating and eating and eating, eventually you start to hate eating and you feel full and bloated all the time. So then it doesn't even feel good to go train. Like you eat a huge meal and then you go try to squat heavy. Like it just doesn't feel right. Like your stomach just feels like it's gonna blow out. Same like you're deadlifting, you're doing cleans, or you're doing snatches. Good lord, trying to do snatches on a full stomach, like it just doesn't feel right. Like you just feel shitty. You just feel like you have this weight sitting on front of your abdomen. So, point being, the meal replacement shakes, just like whey protein or any protein for that matter, those protein shakes could be a great solution in a situation where you are in a big caloric surplus and having a hard time putting enough food down. Most people are either in a maintaining state, or because this is so common, everyone's always dieting. Well, if you're dieting, why would you want to consume anything that doesn't make you feel full for a long time? Satiety is a huge factor. I know people get shitty about this. People get real mad at me because I say calories in, calories out doesn't fucking matter because hunger matters. So if you feel hungry all the time, like I don't care if you're counting calories or not, at some point you're going to crack and you're going to binge. The point isn't that, oh, calories in, calories out doesn't matter, like in the sense that like somehow if you just had iron willpower that you could just eat 300 calories a day and lose weight. Sure you could. Like calories still matter, but damn, like you're going to have one hell of a time trying to stick to a 300 calorie intake because you're going to be hungry all the time. And so at some point you're going to snap and you're going to be like, fuck it, I'm going to Arby's. And you're going to get all the curly fries you possibly can. And then you're going to finish that and you're going to be like, you know what? I'm already off my diet. Screw it. This whole day is ruined. I'll just start over again tomorrow. So while I'm at it, I'm going to go to Burger King or Wendy's or whatever other shit and get all the other things I wanted. And then you're going to hit the grocery store and pick up some ice cream. And you're just going to have a blowout binge. Because why? Because you deprived yourself for so long. Under eating. Like, eventually, like, you can't fight your biology. At some point, you're going to get hungry. And when you get hungry, you're going to eat. Like, you're just going to crack at some point. Like, that's just the way it is. And so that's why I always try to advise people, like, think about your food volume. Like, look at these pro bodybuilders. None of them are using whey protein whenever they're, cutting for their contest. They're eating egg whites and tilapia and broccoli, and they're throwing in very high volume foods, right? Foods that have a lot of volume but low in calories. And I think that that's something you should focus on. It's really easy for you to drink, like a tablespoon of olive oil. Like you could just down a tablespoon of olive oil every hour, and like you probably won't feel full. Like you can throw tons of extra fat on things. Look at people with salads. Like they just, well, I only have 300 calories in the salad, but then they go and dump 500, 600 calories worth of dressing on it. That dressing doesn't make you feel full. It's just liquid fat. So like if you're trying to diet or you're trying to maintain, I think that just eating more voluminous food is just a better way to go. I finish a workout and I go eat a meal. I don't worry about the anabolic window of like, oh my gosh, I didn't drink my whey protein within 5 minutes of finishing my last set. I had to go upstairs and get some food out of the refrigerator. Yeah, okay. I had to drive home. 15 minutes for me to get home before I could eat something. Yeah, okay. Like, I don't think that's making a difference. I don't think that's going to sabotage your progress. Maybe some people out there will argue otherwise, but I really don't think so, especially if your pre-workout nutrition is intact and you're eating, breakfast and lunch and eating something small before you go train. Like, you got food on board already, so, like, eat something after you work out, but like I don't think there's some magical thing of like finish your last set and then pound this shake. Like just drive the 15 minutes home and eat something. You'll feel better. You'll feel more full. And so that's where I come full circle into this whole thing. Like I said, I didn't want to call it why you shouldn't use protein powder, but let's go with like when you shouldn't use protein powder. When is situational. Situational being you're trying to maintain or you're trying to lose weight. And in those situations, I just feel like you're just better off going with foods that make you feel full. It's going to make it easier for you because you're not going to feel hungry all the damn time. You know, I mean, think about like all the other things you have, like Miracle Noodles. Like, come on, there's like no fucking calories in those things, and those will make you feel full. Like, why do people use them? Because it makes you feel full. Why do people eat salads? Like, why would you sit down and eat a whole fucking head of iceberg lettuce? You know, I see these people with their, oh, I'm gonna have a big ass salad, and they have like a whole head of lettuce with like broccoli and whatever other vegetables they throw into this thing, carrots and tomatoes and whatever shit, with like some chicken, and then they put like Walden's 0-calorie dressing on it, or they put mustard on it, which is fine too. But again, it's like super low calorie. Why would you do that? Because it makes you feel full, you know? And so, like, I don't know. I'm sure people will disagree with me. That's fine if you disagree with me. Maybe you have a great satiety reaction to drinking whey protein, but for me, like if I drink a scoop of whey protein after my workout, like a half hour later, I'm hungry again. That's great when I'm trying to gain. So like I said, there are times where it is good, right? So like certainly if I'm trying to move up in weight classes, whey protein's fantastic. I can drink a scoop of whey protein with every meal. Yeah, that's another 100 calories on top of every meal. I can add fat to everything. You know, I can put olive oil on things. I can put macadamia oil on things. I can just start adding fat. I can put butter into everything I eat. And it doesn't really make me feel all that much more full. But if you're trying to maintain weight or you're trying to lose weight, then you should take advantage of things that make you feel full and lower your hunger. And so that's why I say that there are times where, it's like where, when, you might not want to use protein powder because it will, you know, it just doesn't make you feel full. Less satiety, more hunger. Now it's harder for you to stick to your diet, especially when you have a big deficit. And so that's all I have to say on this. You know, I just thought I would clarify. I didn't make my statement the other day about preferring food over whey protein because somehow, I don't know, like protein from steak builds more muscle than protein from whey or some shit like that. Protein's protein. If you're getting enough of it, your body's using it. Even the leucine, you know, if you're eating enough protein, you're getting enough leucine. So, but I do feel that eating food is just, you just feel better. And plus, a lot of people don't digest protein powders well. Like, a lot of people have gastric problems from that. So, I really do think that food is just a better way to go if you can. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, students between classes, people working jobs where they can't take a break to eat, by all means, like go with the liquid calories because it's better than no calories. But, you know, if you can eat a meal, eating a meal is always better because you're going to feel full. It's going to make you feel satiated, and it'll digest slower, so you won't be ravenously hungry by your next meal.